What's going on, you guys? It's AskCat bringing you guys another video. This is going to be a little bit of a random, weird upload, but I just wanted to go ahead and get this out there real quick because I was just watching a Mr. T Lexify video, and it was called Rip Zombies Chronicles 2. Towards the end of that video, he got into talking about something that made this thought pop into my head, and I just really quickly wanted to cover this. This may not ever be relevant, may not be relevant at all whatsoever, but I did think about it, and I just thought it was kind of weird, and I know that these things do kind of end up tying into each one of these games' lore, which again, I'll explain what I'm talking about here in a second, but I do think it's still kind of odd. So anyways, the main idea of the thought that crossed through my head was, in BO3, you obviously have your gobblegums and your sodas, and then you have, in IW, you have your cards and your candies. So I was like, okay, wait a second. Wouldn't it have made more sense, like, just thematically, with the base maps of the game, like, so Spaceland for IW, Shadows of Evil for BO3, wouldn't it have made thematical, more logical sense for them in BO3, for them to have gone with cards and soda or alcohol, if you will, and then in IW, they could have gone with gobblegums and candies, fitting that whole amusement theme. So again, like I said, I know the whole gobblegums being tied into Dr. Monty and the Mephistopheles boss, like super Easter egg boss fight in IW kind of ties into the whole Fate and Fortune cards being like linked with the devil sort of like dummy thing in the machine. But I do think it's interesting. And then you also, like Mr. T Lexify in his video kind of showed, there was a picture of Cameron Dayton, Jason Blundell, and Lee Ross all sitting at a table together, basically. And it did make me wonder, like, were they kind of planning some sort of, like, in-between game sort of Easter egg, like, whether it's, like, a reference or something like that, or I don't even know where to go with that necessarily, but, like, I did want to bring up World War II as well, since he was in that picture as well. I do think that the things he put into his game fit thematically a little bit better. Like, obviously you have your Geistcraft, like, perk machines, same with the armor machine. They kind of, like, amp up your reflexes and your, like, nervous system, I would assume, is kind of how that works, because you, like, put your hand into it, or I would assume for the armor machine, you kind of, like, it doesn't show it, but I would assume you kind of, like, put yourself in there, and it, like, puts all the needles throughout you to go ahead and, like, amplify your system again. But, yeah, other than that, I really wanted to get that out there. I just thought it made more sense logically. Like, you think about World War II, everything, like, kind of lines up, like, with the whole electrical theme. And then you have BO3 and IW, where they could have, like, almost, like, mismatched the things that went into the game. I'm not saying they did, but it is kind of interesting, because they could have went with, like, cards and alcohol, like I was saying before in BO3, which would have made more sense for the whole, like, Nero's magic and the whole boxing police thing, the nightclub. It would have made more sense for that theme. And then IW Spaceland, it would have made more sense to have, like, gobblegums and candies for the amusement park. But yeah, that's basically the whole thought. Just wanted to go ahead and run that out there. Like I said, this is a bit weird of an upload, but just like, it was like just a quick little thought I had while I was watching that video, and I just like, that's kind of interesting. I've never had that thought. I've never really thought about the aspects of BO3 and IW at the same time, I guess. Like, I've never really put them together like that. I just made a quick little note. Wanted to get this video out there because I did, again, think that was interesting. But I'm going to go ahead and end it off there. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully this was thought-provoking in some sense. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.